Hello and welcome to my channel Skyrise Astro. Thank you for joining me today and I hope you are all doing well. Let's see the horoscope for the sign of Virgo for this month of February. So, let's start. This month until the 20th of February, the Sun will be in the sign of Aquarius in your sixth house. So, this is a difficult transit of the Sun for you, dear Virgo, as you are consciously and unconsciously committed to your daily obligations. You also encounter things that annoy you, so you are also burdened with additional problems. You are also often burdened with professional responsibilities, although you are often saddened by the ingratitude or slander you receive despite your diligent efforts. But you make sure that you are always on your toes and that you believe in your abilities, even if some people oppose your own views and techniques. Sometimes, out of nowhere, you are informed of a useful professional medical secret. However, if the sun is under negative influence at this time, you may have some problems. These problems could range from bad relationships with suppliers, customers, and employees in your business to your counselors and doctors. Whatever the difficulties, deal with them calmly because they will not last long. Great, at least. So, from the 20th of February until the end of the month, the Sun will move in the sign of Pisces in your seventh house. Here it is. Great. So, this may not be one of the best cases for a transiting sun in the seventh house because it often brings back past experiences with your life partner, certain partners, and even competitors. However, if these experiences have taught you anything at all, try to avoid similar situations. It often happens that some strange mechanism set in motion the evil moods of people who for some reason want to compete with you. And it is even worse if one of them happens to be your partner. But there is also a useful element to this transit, and that is that those who are working against you behind the scenes can be revealed to you so yet that you can take appropriate action. Let's go now to Mercury. Here it is, that will stay in the sign of Capricorn until the 5th of February. The richer your daily life is in terms of experience, the more active your days will be through this transit. Important contacts may prove productive in your current activities. They may also give you the opportunity to show and prove your special talents or business skills. You may also have a good communication with a public or named person about your child, romantic attachment, or other loved one. Generally, during this transit, and as long as you are not negatively affected or transiting, you will reach agreements to better utilize some part of your work. You may also share moments of entertainment with people in your social and professional environment or even with your parents. From the 5th to the 20th of February, Mercury will move in the sign of Aquarius in your sixth house. The schedule during these days can be very busy in terms of the business you have to carry out on a daily basis, but it can also be frustrating in the sense that you may find yourself doing things that bore you. However, if your work involves providing services directly to others, for example, You have your own medical practice, restaurant, supermarket, training center, generally your own business. It can be a time of increased responsibility, and by extension, it can mean an increased clientele. If the transit is negatively affected, whether you are an entrepreneur or a tradesman or even a retired person or housewife, you may at some point become concerned about the low level of your business dealings. You may also be doing business on behalf of others. And from the 20th of February until the end of this month, dear Virgo, Mercury will move in the sign of Pisces in your seventh house. This is essentially an active transit in that it gives you the opportunity to meet people through whom you can facilitate your professional and social plans. Of course, the higher your standing in their eyes, the better. For as long as this transit lasts, your access to and acceptance by others will be commensurate with your public image. For example, if you want to make a proposal for cooperation that will help you to make it happen is who you are, that what your powers are and how you use them. It is also possible that your contacts will be about a child's health or work, or about a demonstration you want to give in connection with your work, or about coming to terms with colleagues and signing or terminating a contract, a divorce, and so on. If Mercury is negatively affected during this transit, there may be difficulties in the above areas and in your interpersonal relationships in general. However, as the seventh house often coincides with the sign of Pisces, like in this case, the problem is occasional. So even if the problem is not solved under other planetary conditions, it will be overcome by finding other ways of approaching it. Okay, let's move now to Venus, that will stay in the sign of Capricorn until the 17th of February in your fifth house. So here is the fifth house and here is the sign of Capricorn. With this transit, dear Virgo, you will have the opportunities, especially on an artistic level, but also to celebrate an anniversary, to receive a diploma, to celebrate the marriage of your brother or sister, or have a christening, to attend a religious celebration in any way, to become a best man, to meet in-laws, brother-in-laws, sister-in-law, lovers, and others, or to have good company. It is also a good time to go on a honeymoon or general holiday. It is also considered good for your children's relationships and progress. Often during this time, you may flirt with foreigners, fellow students, people in the mass media, and even belonging to the metaphysical and religious community. But you may also associate with people who are neither holy nor sacred. So be careful, dear Virgo. From the 17th of February until the end of the month, Venus will move in the sign of Aquarius in your sixth house. In the absence of other unfavorable transit, your good humor helps you to deal easily and quickly with subordinates and clients. Usually, your current dealings are in keeping with your culture, for you perceive things differently when your sixth house is in Aquarius. You are also often involved in service work for others, such as the current affairs of your third child or your fourth brother, if you have, or some social issue that may involve in-laws, godparents, teachers, spiritualists, or a small trip by your partner, and so on. It may also be a relatively favorable time for publishing for publishing houses, travel agencies, organizing festivities, parties, concerts, award ceremonies, and so on. And finally, let's move to Mars. So here it is. Mars will stay in the sign of Capricorn until Valentine's Day, the 14th of February, in your fifth house. So, with this transit, dear Virgo, you can take advantage of situations by bringing out your special talents, especially on the material level. And since you are a Virgo, in the fifth house in Capricorn, you have the advantage of being able to take risks safely. Of course, whatever activities you undertake in relation to what is always represented by the aforementioned transit, there is also a certain amount of beneficialism. That is to say, you prefer to appropriate your gains in whatever you are trying to achieve, regardless of whether others have intervened or contributed. Even in your love life, you usually manage to get more than you give. In short, you manage to come out stronger through others. But when Mars is under negative influence, you need to be cautious, even when you know what you are doing, both financially and in your love life. There is a danger of venereal disease and more, as you may even reach the point of promiscuity. There is also an even greater risk of hemorrhaging, miscarriage, and infection in pregnant women. On the other hand, this can be seen as an ideal time if you are involved in financial offices, auctions, and sales, especially of iron materials, ammunition, and firefighting. And finally, from Valentine's Day until the end of month, Mars will move to the sign of Aquarius in your sixth house. Here it is. A transit of Mars which obliges you to work not only in connection with your current business, but often with forgotten business, which, because it takes you out of your schedules and times, causes you tension and physical fatigue. Of course, if your work is related to that of the eighth house, such as that of the coroner, the tax collector, the taxman, the undertaker, the broker, and so on, it is predicted to be a very active time. This is not to say that it will be profitable. On the contrary, when Mars is negatively affected, more attention is needed to the finances that depend on your work. All the more so if your business is already in debt. You should also be very careful with your financial advisor, accountant, tax advisor, insurer, and others. If the transit is negative, it can often cause health problems. This is usually due to infections of the genital system, poor circulation in the lower limbs, and increased high blood pressure. Be careful, dear Virgo. So that's for all for the month of February. Thank you for being here, and I wish you a nice day. Be well. Bye.